Getting buried in the media headlines about the partial government shutdown is the fact that U.S. workers are actually winning. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the rate of labor force participation for prime age adults ages 25 to 54 rose in the fourth quarter of 2018, more than in any other quarter since 1994. Joining us now to discuss the booming economy is Romina, the director of the Grover M. Hermann Center for the Federal Budget. Romina, good morning. It looks like some good news is getting overlooked.
Good morning. Indeed, very good news are getting overlooked. And this partial government shutdown is really small. You're looking at $325 billion out of a more than $4 trillion budget, so maybe 7–8% of federal funding. So the economy is continuing to roar thanks to the president's deregulatory agenda, which he's continuing to push, and also these sweeping tax cuts, which were very significant. The largest tax cut, the biggest tax reform in 30 years, and businesses are loving it. Small business confidence is way up, and that's why we're seeing so much hiring and so much growth in the economy. Yeah,
you mentioned hiring, Romina. Let's just look here at the December jobs report. 312,000 jobs added, 3.2% wage growth, 3.9% unemployment growth. How does that get lost in the media?
Well, unfortunately, bad news seems to sell better, but these are really good news all around. This was an amazing jobs report, and I think that we're going to continue to see strength in this economy, especially if the president continues his push to further deregulate, because that is what allows businesses to grow and hire workers. But for long-run growth, we also need to think about how can we boost innovation and further productivity enhancements, and some of the dark clouds on the horizon are the rising deficit and debt. But don't despair. Those are all problems we can fix. The good news right now is that minorities in particular are benefiting greatly from this economy, which is really awesome. Women, Hispanics, black men and women both are returning to the labor force in droves, and labor force participation is also starting to inch up, which is really good news.
Romina, let me get you to put in context, if you will, as we hear so much about the workers, because of the shutdown, are going without a paycheck, that we feel for them, and no one wants anyone to suffer like that. But when you put that in comparison to the growth that we saw in that December jobs report and the economy, give us some sense of really how we should process this.
Yeah. If you're looking at how many federal workers are affected, it's about 800,000 of them. About half of those are eligible for unemployment benefits. And in the Washington, D.C. region, where I'm located, about 8,000 federal workers have filed for those benefits. Now, when those federal employees receive their back pay, which they have historically received, and which both the president and Republicans and Democrats in Congress seem to want to provide for them, they've already passed bills to do so. They will have to return those unemployment benefits. So I feel bad for workers that are working paycheck to paycheck, that are suffering during this government shutdown. But I think it's important to look at also what aspects of the economy are affected by the shutdown.
Absolutely.
And maybe,
Romina, we got to leave it there, but thank you for bringing that good news to us.
Thanks for having me.